So you say, oh, so I came forth for the growth, and we say, you came forth for the joyous experience of expansion. You came forth for the thrill of feeling the energy moving as you are upon your eternal expansion. Now, this process only feels good to you if you are moving in the direction of your expansion. In other words, if life causes you to become something and you don't let yourself go, you don't feel good. In other words, the tension within you, all negative emotion is about life causing you to become something and the larger part of you becoming and the physical part of you not going. It's like sifting through the contrast and recognizing that you don't have enough of the resources that you want. I want more money. I need more money. I want more money. I need more money. And when you ask, you launch rockets of desire, one after another, one after another. There's a veritable fortune spinning for you, becoming for you. If you could see the aerial view of what's in your escrow, you'd relax, you'd chill, you'd be proud, you'd feel worthy. But as you beat the drum of, it isn't here, I don't know where it is, I don't know what to do, I can't find it, I'm really afraid, I don't know what to do, it's not fair, that guy's got some, I don't, that guy's got a lot, I don't, that guy. Rich one over there. Probably deals drugs. As you continue to explore the contrast that now, after the asking, that same contrast defies the allowing. When you stay stuck in step one, in an eternal beating the drum, praying for something improved, when you keep asking and asking and asking and asking the same question over and over and over and over, you set up within yourself a chronic pattern of vibration that is focused upon the absence of what you're asking for. Don't you feel that? Can't you feel that when you're fixated on the problem, the solution cannot appear to you? Now, it's so interesting because fixating on the problem did create the solution. You just can't find it as long as you're fixated on the problem. So somewhere between the asking step and the allowing step, you got to chill out. And the only way we know of to get you to do that is by acknowledging that it's already done. It's already done. I've asked. It's been answered. Now what can I do to put myself in the vibrational proximity of allowing it? So let's say, happens all the time, your life has caused you to create the most perfect future experience. Future to you because it hasn't manifested, present to us because it is vibrationally so. So there it is. The money you want, the security you want, the relationships you want, the good feeling body that you want, the wonderful opportunities that you want. Here it is, spinning. It's real, it's vivid, it's personal, it's yours. You created it, it's there for you, it's not going anywhere, it's yours, it's done, it's there. But where are you? So let's say you're fearful. In fact, the more afraid you've been for the longer time, the more good stuff you've put over here. The more you've wanted something that you didn't have, the more you put it into vibrational escrow. It's there, but you're over here. You're in fear. You're far vibrationally from it. In fact, you're so far from it on a regular basis, and you hold yourself there almost seemingly deliberately because you keep talking about where you are. You keep talking about how bad it is. You join the online chat groups. You have those private conversations with your friends. And so you hold yourself far vibrationally apart from what's over there. So even though law of attraction's doing what it always does, your inner being, source, all that you have been requesting is in the process of coming together, and it's ready for you, but you can't see it. You're blind to it. It's just like the radio signals that are out there, but until you tune your receiver to it, you don't receive the signal. And you say, well, that music isn't out there. Then we say, you're just not tuned to it. It's out there. It's out there. It's there, and it's ready for you. You've just got to tune yourself now. Step 3, tune yourself now. Step 3, tune yourself now to what you've been asking for. So now You hear us, and you can hear the call of source. It's calling you. It's calling you. Doesn't sound like sunshine, lollipops, and roses, though, does it? Because you're so far away from it. So let's say that you find yourself in a place of frustration. Frustration is closer to the proximity of what you've been asking for, much closer than fear. Even in frustration, some evidence of what you've been asking for can show itself to you. You'll see it, you'll mock it. You'll see it, you'll make fun of it. You'll see it, you'll talk yourself out of it. But now, some of it's starting to show itself to you. And if you can hang in there for a little while and not slip back into anger and revenge and fear, if you can hang around in the vicinity of frustration for a while, pretty soon you'll get a little ray of hope. And when you feel a little hopeful, you'll have contact with part of the pieces that are in your vibrational escrow. Those little bursts of enthusiasm will give you a little more insight. And if you could hang around in hope just for a little while, there would be enough evidence from what's culminating in your escrow that you would then begin to believe. And somewhere between hoping and believing, you get in the vortex. And once you get in there, the universe will show you evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence of your ability to have or be or do anything that you're wanting. There are no limitations for you. You've got to tune yourself into what you are asking for. And the best way we can think of to describe that to you is you have to begin telling the story of what's in the vortex instead of the story of how you put it there. You've got to stop telling the stories of the struggle or the unfairness or the injustice. And some of those stories, we hear you. They're funny stories. They're entertaining. And we know, we watch you. Sometimes you're having a conversation with someone and they'll be telling a story about something, and it will trigger something within you about it because the story sort of sounds the same. It was about the same sort of thing. But what you got to start doing, you got to start asking yourself, what is the vibrational essence of this story that I'm telling? Is this story a story that describes my invincibility or my fallibility? Is this a story that amplifies my abundance or my lack of it? Is this a story that amplifies my efficiency or my inefficiency, my clarity or my confusion? What's this story that I'm telling? What's the essence of this story? Why am I telling this story? And we want you to know, friends, the reason that you are usually telling the story that you're telling is because you're not paying attention to how you feel while you're telling the story. And you're telling the story for intellectual content rather than from vibrational content. When you start telling the story that you're telling because of its vibrational content, when you say and really mean, oh, Abraham, I hear you. I know that there's a veritable fortune of relationships and all delicious things in my escrow, and the stories I tell from this point forward are one reason only. I'm going to tell the stories that line me up with that. I'm going to tell the stories that line me up with that. I'm going to tell the stories that line me up with that. And the stories you've been telling line you up with reality. They line you up with humorous content. They line you up with people that you can relate to. They line you up with things that you're dredging up from the past. They line you up with all kinds of things. But nothing matters than that you line up with who you really are, because if you tell a story that takes you in the opposite direction of who you really are, you pull yourself apart. And that's what negative emotion is. Whether you call it doubt, whether you call it fear, whether you call it anger, whether you call it frustration, it doesn't matter if it's loneliness. It does not matter what the negative emotion is. Every single time it means, in the moment of it, you're telling a story that is keeping you away from who you really are. You see, we're not giving this to you because we think it is so important that you have all those things, or that you buy all those homes, or that you have all those relationships. We think it's nice if you get to do the things you want to do. But we're not telling you this because we think it is so important that all of those manifestations take place. We're telling you this because once life has caused you to expand and you don't keep up with who you are, you don't feel good. Before you came into this body, you were beaming one pure positive energy signal. And by that we mean no resistance in the vibration. Now, of course, there's resistance in everything, in the sense that in every particle of the universe there is that which is wanted and lack of it. But from your human perspective, if you were to look at the signal that is being beamed from non-physical, you would not be able to discern any vibrational variance in it at all. It's that pure positive energy from your vantage point. So you're offering one signal from non-physical. You're born, right away you begin splitting your energy. It's logical as you begin dealing immediately with the contrast. But when you go to sleep, you become one signal again. You wake up, your energy split a little. When you're really mad, you split your signal. When you're in a moment of love, you're one signal. When you are feeling insecure, you're offering two very different signals, and your emotions are telling you about that vibrational relationship. When you meditate and you stop thought, you release resistance, you become one signal. So, are you getting the sense of this? That you are energy. You are a vibrational being. And of course, we see you in your flesh, blood, bone. You are beautiful beings, but you are vibration. And most of you have forgotten that. And you live in a vibrational universe that is responding to the vibration of your being. And when you come to a conscious awareness that you are a vibrational being, and you accept that the larger part of you is tending to who you have become, and that if life has caused you to become something, and then you don't let yourself vibrationally and wholly be it, there's going to be a feeling of emptiness, a feeling of void, a feeling that is what negative emotion is every time. And if you keep it up, the negative emotion will become more and more and more until there will be physical sensation. That's what all illness is, with no exception. Every illness, no matter what, is about vibrational separation, too strong of word. It's about the void, too strong of word. It's about the gap between who you're letting yourself be because of the thought you're thinking, because of the chronic pattern of thought. That's all a belief is, isn't it? Habit of thought. The habit of thought that you have in relationship to who you have become. Now, if life had not given you contrast, and therefore you had not asked for more than what is, then the larger part of you would have achieved no expansion, and you could stand right where you are, giving your undivided attention to the lackful place that you're standing, and you would not feel discord, because there would be no separation. The only reason you ever feel discord, and this is so important to hear, the only reason you ever feel negative emotion is because you became something that you're not letting yourself be. It's so interesting. We'll see you with a friend. Sometimes you're not calling that friend a friend, but so this person has done something to you, at least by your perspective, that felt awful, a betrayal. And as you look at it, and it hurts you so, you're sending out rockets of desire. Rockets of desire about a lot of things. About wanting your feelings to be unhurtable. About not wanting to depend upon what anybody else does. About wanting people to be more kind. In other words, whatever it is, whatever happened, you're asking for what you think would be an improvement. And because of this relationship with this former friend, you have become something more than you were before that ever happened. And the larger part of you embraces that fully. Now, as you turn and you give your undivided attention to who this rascal has caused you to become, you receive the benefit of that. You come back into your alignment. You realize that you've fulfilled your reason for being together, and you thrive. But sometimes, even though the larger part of you has become something, you don't go. You keep beating the drum of the injustice. Now, it's really interesting because now you're extra mad at that person, because that person is the reason for this expansion, and you're now using the same person as the reason to not go with the expansion. So they really get stuck in your vibrational craw. They prod you into expanding, and then they won't behave so you can take your expansion. And you feel so trapped in it. And then you become like much of the world, needing people to behave in certain ways so that you can feel good. And is that ever entrapment? It is, isn't it? If I need you to be something different than you are so that I can feel better, and especially if you're the reason that I become something more, and then you still won't change, you're still being the rascal that caused me to become it, Well, I just have to eliminate you from the planet.